Let me tell you about the my basketball days. I used to shoot over my shoulder like this, like a granny shot. Like I just went to the court wherever they were and shot it there. Like I got better, but in the beginning I would literally just like clap for the ball and like scream pass like nearly every time. Oh my god. I was that annoying player, but I would make them in the Y. And why I was balling a lot better. They actually almost put me on this elite team, but they never called me back. Probably because I literally just catch and shoot. That's all I do. So sixth grade, I wore this really bright yellow uh V-neck, and my friend's mom was like calling me rubber ducky. Never ever borrow a shirt from my dad. It will cramp your style no matter whatever you do. It's just my dad has no style whatsoever. He makes me wear the most embarrassing clothes because he bought them for me. He tries to do it with the t-shirts. The t-shirts have been working for the most part, but yeah. I'd have to just do a whole video on that. Like, some of the shoes he bought me one year is ugly as oh my god. Anyway, um, so sixth grade, I was like the sixth man. I come in, I made like 35-40%, maybe 30%. I don't know, but I did pretty good for middle school. Uh, they reduced my minutes in seventh and eighth grade. Now that coach, the main coach, had anger issues. Like he was going through something. I tell you what, because like he'd make us run like 7 times up and down the court in a certain amount of time, or we had to do it again. Like he was conditioning us like we were track or something. Like if I wanted to run this much, I would have joined track. Okay, which actually I was in track for a year in elementary school. But anyway, uh, his daughter liked me, but I don't want to make this guy mad anymore. So I'm like, yo, I'm gonna stay away from her. Even though we should have dated. I wish we would have dated. Well, I guess she got judgmental of me in high school because I started doing stupid things because I'm, bipolar. So I don't know. She was like, "Oh, all the stories I've heard of you." Oh, I'm like, "Okay, tell me." And then she wouldn't. She just leave. I'm like, "Okay." Well, I think I dodged a bullet there, honestly. So, yeah. So, high school came. I skipped ninth grade. I was going through a lot, but 10th grade, I um I get in garbage time. I get to like shoot a little bit, like for the last like 5 or 4 minutes if we did well in the game, and I was happy. I was very happy with that because the next year, they tried to put me in. I kept doing that thing where I shot wherever I was open. Usually it was like on the sidelines, but then they put me to the shooting guard, so I did it like sideways, so the defense when they're in their zone isn't there. I just shot from there, and yeah. They said I couldn't remember the plays because I all that running I was actually traumatized. Like I was actually like full of anxiety, like we were gonna run again. It was ridiculous. Like the seventh and eighth grade, if the seventh and eighth grade teacher, I mean, coach really messed me up. Like for real. Like I was afraid of running into people too. So I had to stay at the ends of the. So I wouldn't bump into anyone. I hated that. That's why I ran so slow, so no one would bump into me. But also that because I could just like barely I didn't know how to breathe in and out, so like I'd hold my breath and like it was bad. So yeah, um and I didn't try. I could have tried harder to run faster. I did try though when we did that stupid running thing with to put it on the time. You had to, or else the whole team would have to do it all over again. Or they called it suicide back then. The if you went to the foul line and back, uh, we had to do one of those and then restart them again. Uh, they literally called it suicide, which is hilarious. It's a hilarious term, like not for real, but these things made me want to commit suicide. I'm kidding, of course, but yeah. um yeah, so high school there was this different teacher, I mean coach, like after 10th grade, 11th grade came, and like I said, they tried to put me in, but I just shot whenever I didn't do the plays. So summer league was the final straw because he put the freshman and sophomore, or the freshman going to sophomore, the sophomore going to junior. For me, I was going into a senior, and they didn't put me in until after them. I'm like, why did? And he's like, oh, if you don't learn the plays, you're not gonna play. So I literally ran onto the field. I was so excited to get out, and I knew right then and there it was my time. It was time to hang it up. Especially when he said, "Yeah, you're not playing. You gotta learn the plays." I didn't. I couldn't learn them. Like I tried that year. I tried theater. I should make a story time on theater too. Theater camp. So like I couldn't remember my lines in theater camp at like 17. Like I was like going through a lot of medications and stuff. Anyway, so I got people coming out of the woodworks for this. Of course, there was this Mr. Manager guy. Now this Mr. Manager, that's what I'm gonna call him. Mr. Manager was mad at me sophomore year because I wore white socks instead of dress socks. I'm like, you've got to be kidding. Who's gonna tell? Who's gonna tell? Like, I didn't think it was gonna be that big of a deal. So I was like, hey, is White Sox okay? He's like, no, no, no. I think you wrote me up for that or something. It's like, do that again, you're not gonna play or something. Like, you gotta be over socks. Like, this guy is a news anchor now, so yeah, it's very fitting because he tried to get in your business. Like, whenever I was dating this girl and I broke up with her, he's like all in my business. Like, hey, why do you break up? And I'm like, I don't know. Like, why am I gonna tell you? You've barely been in my life at all. You just want to know the scoop. So why am I gonna tell you? And like, you're gonna go and run and tell other people. Like, he's full of gossip. He was a perfect role for a newscaster. Perfect. I'm like, yep. So this guy was also, so when I quit, this guy was mad. He's like, well, why didn't you go to the summer league? You don't care about the team, huh? It's like the team didn't care about me. Like, I sat alone every time, like alone. No one talked to me. Like, even like, and they got mad when I put my headphones in. It's like, you can't do that. You can't do that. Like when I was like at we were waiting for a home game. I'm like, why not? It's like no one's talking to me. It's like I'm not gonna I'm not gonna sit here in silence for 2 hours. Like, so the only time I got people to talk to me when I got really edgy and stuff. So like, first off, like, they're talking about jacking off. I'm like, okay, this is a, I can get with this, and I'm like, yeah, I jack off too. And then he's like, the guy in everyone's business was like, oh, what do you jack off to? Hey, what do you jack off to? I should have told him what you jack off to. And then he would see what he said. See what he did, like, and then like turn his head away. Um, The worst of it though was I made a pedophile joke, and it was a little too far, but honestly his reaction was ridiculous. This, we're talking about the same man that like really got like really upset about me wearing white socks. Okay, this is the same person. And I kid you not, there was a character on the video game one of them was playing, and he looked like a pedophile with his pedophile stash. So he was like, "Oh, this guy looks like a pedophile," and they laughed, and I'm like, "Yeah, fuck a child, why don't you?" And that was like the only time they like paid attention to me. It's like I didn't know what else to say. I don't. I shouldn't have said that, but I didn't really think it was that big of a deal. Obviously, I was joking. Like I don't condone pedophilia, okay? Just so you know. If it wasn't obvious enough. But but yeah, so he was like, "Oh, I'm gonna call CYS on you or like child youth services or whatever." Like I'm like, "You gotta be kidding me." So I went from edgy joke to, well, I'm gonna get CYS involved, like the people like for actual predators and stuff. I'm like, it's like this guy is too much. This guy, oh my god, this guy has no sense of humor, and like, I actually know why, because his brother actually got into that stuff, and that's probably why he was on edge about it. He didn't find it funny, but I will make it funny because I here on the 100% Beef channel we make everything funny. I don't discriminate with anything. Uh, yes. So I will my next stand up tell a pedophile joke just in this honor. I've been wanting to because that's like the next thing that that taboo that I didn't make jokes about yet. It's fun. It's fun. It's fun. It's a good challenge for me to figure it out how to make it funny. It really is. So, uh, if you enjoyed this story time, I quit. The other guy was making fun that I missed every shot, and yeah, whatever. But um, so I quit to start this channel, and I think that was worth it. I think it was, and then people start hating on me for the music. I can't just exist. I can't just exist and do my own thing. I can't quit basketball. I can't make music. It's just like one thing after another. The guy will complain about my white socks. Good thing I'm wearing black right now. He had a foot fetish or something. He was like, wear black socks next time." Oh my god. My god. Oh, leave a like if you enjoy, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you when you watch me again, metaphorically.